Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com coming at you today for another shave review video! We are looking at the Aylsworth razor and brush, and we're going to be using Rex's brand new 1977 Shave Soap and Splash. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to take it from right there. I have applied our Razor Emporium pre-shave soap, and I'm going to lather up with the Allure G5C synthetic brush from Aylsworth Razors. This is their Allure brush, really cool, aluminum that's been bead blasted and anodized, and it's got this really cool G5C synthetic knot. I'm trying to get that just right. And this is 1977 now. Truth be told, I brought this one from home because we are, at the time of this filming is just a few days after Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and we sold so much 1977. We didn't even have any in stock for me to take. So I brought one from home. Now this is my first time using a synthetic brush in a long time, so I'm hoping I get it right. Now I've been told that this G5C synthetic knot is supposed to be really similar to Badger. Now I should have broken it in, so this is the first time using it. I've not broken it in. Just seems to be there we go, a little more. I will say it's better than other synthetics I've used, and I probably, truth be told, I've heard you're supposed to use it 4 or 5 times before it's really broken in, but this is first time. It definitely is better than other synthetics I've used. And I'm purposely trying to make a little bit more of a wet lather today. I think it's decent. Made a complete mess of this handle, but it's good. Let's talk about Aylsworth Razors. So Aylsworth Razors is owned and operated by Mr. Caleb Aylsworth. Caleb's up in Canada. I had the pleasure of meeting him at Idaho Falls, Idaho. And I was up there a couple months ago for our meetup and had a good time, met lots of great people. Hung out with people in the shaving world, and Caleb was one of them. We had a good time hanging out, nice guy, and I saw his stuff at the show, and I was like, do you wholesale? And he said, absolutely, and we picked up Aylsworth, and it's been selling pretty well, and so I wanted to actually use it here today. So we got the brush, the Allure brush, 1977, lathered up great. This is the newest soap from Rex. Got notes of patchouli and vetiver, tobacco, rose, leather. It's got a real old school kind of feel. Now for the main event, the razor. So this is an Aylsworth Kopparkant Plus. So I'll just show you kind of unpacking it. So it's come in this little roll, and then it's got this black tissue paper, and it's got a business card in it for Aylsworth Razors. You take out the tissue and you are presented with a razor. So that is that. It's made of brass 360. It's got a little A in the top cap. It's been sandblasted. And this is the plus. It's got little plus marks on the bottom side. And we're going to load this up with a brand new PermaSharp. Looks like the washer is kind of, there's a built-in relief for this little washer here. That's a new thing I've been seeing. Most modern razor companies that are 3-piece razor companies are doing the little washer on the bottom side to prevent marring. I'm going to carefully unpack this Russian PermaSharp blade. Load it like a typical 3-piece. You got the cap, place the blade over the cap, place the guard on top, and thread on your handle. That is the way the Gillette taught us 120 years ago, and that's the way I do it. So this is the plus model. They have the regular that's supposed to be a little more mild. This is supposed to be a little more efficient, a little more gap. Let's give it a shot. Very nice. Now, Aylsworth razors are made in Canada, designed and made. Caleb has a full-time job. This is not his main deal as of right now. He shared with me that he does software engineering, software design for like video games. I asked him if there's any video game I'm not a video gamer, but I said, well, anything I would know or heard of? He's like, well, I've worked on Tomb Raider. I'm like, cool, I've heard of Tomb Raider, Lara Croft. So that's pretty cool. But he's a designer, you know, he's got a real good aesthetic, and he contracts out to machine shop. The efficiency on this reminds me a lot of like a red tip. Very nice. You know, it's amazing. Caleb's one of my competitors, and yet I can still compliment him. It's almost as if I'm capable of not being too biased. Sorry. No, but really, I think this is a great razor. Definitely if you want more of that efficient feel. They have the original if you want a more of a kind of mild to medium. I'm finding by just slightly increasing my angle and riding the cap just a tiny bit, I'm able to get a nice shave for me. Yeah, very light touch, not, you know, good razor is sufficient. You shouldn't have to use a lot of pressure. Lather clears out real easily, not getting clogged. The scent of 1977 is very potent. That's what we were going for. You guys have seen Anchorman. There's that scene where they bring out the Sex Panther aftershave. It smells very strong. I say that just as a heads up. Like there's some scents that women just don't like, and some women like it, some women don't. You know, my wife likes more of the modern, clean. You know, like she really likes Nordic and like Element 47, like more the designer kind of perfumey kind of smell stuff. This one smells very old school. And it will fill the room with the smell. You will smell this. So if it's something like where you're worried or you're like, oh, my workplace has like a policy, don't get it. But if you like that strong smell that's real masculine, like, and you just stepped out of the 70s, this is it. My only constructive criticism for this Aylsworth razor is that I think for me, I would like the non-plus guard better. But that's not a knock. That just means that even me, even Matt, the owner and designer of Rex, can find a razor to be too efficient. I wouldn't say it's too aggressive. It's very efficient. I needed just a very light touch. But it's very well made, and executed. The finishing looks great. It's very much in that carve vein in terms of the finish, the bead blasted finish. Sad part about getting older is I'm not sure if I have shaving cream in my goatee or if that's just white hair. And I gotta check behind my ears. The last 2 times I've shaved, I've had someone come up to me and say, "You have shaving cream behind your ear." So I'm double checking, guys. At least I'm cleaning behind there, right? Aylsworth, and yeah, nice and close. I can feel it. I don't feel irritated. I liked it. And when you get razors like this in, not just from him, but other makers who make 3-piece razors in brass. Some people love the brass. Some people like the brass patina. Other people want to put nickel or rhodium or gold on top of that. We can do that too. And you can, we sell these guys now. You can have us do that before we even ship it out if you want. I'm going to use some 1977 Splash alcohol, witch hazel, rose extract, almond, glycerin, and essential oils and fragrance. Obviously some colors here. So yeah, I was real proud of the color on this. We obviously wanted it to match the label, and I wanted to also kind of look old school. Like we were basing it off some old Jerry's hair tonic. We had an old bottle of that, and we were kind of going for that vintage. And the other thing I always think about is like a green couch. I don't know what it is about. Whenever I think about like the 70s, I think about like an old green couch. I think my grandparents may have had one. Oh, feels great. Very throwback, very 70s. Yeah, I was impressed with the Altar brush in this G5C synthetic. I definitely want to break it in more by using it more. But it is the nicest synthetic I've used, and I can honestly say that. And it's funny because this was part of the conversation that Caleb and I had up in Idaho when we were hanging out. And I was saying, oh, he's asking like, what kind of brush? I'm like, I'm just a Badger brush guy. I've always been. He's like, well, have you tried, this new knot? Because he doesn't make the knot. I think the knot actually comes from Moolah, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, no, I haven't. And so he's like, well, you really should, and it may change your mind on synthetics. And I actually want to try this more at home, and maybe again with you guys, just to really get the full experience, because it definitely felt more like Badger, like it was fuller, like a Badger feels. And the tips definitely felt like Badger, how they taper. It just did that stereotypical flop thing for me. For some reason, whenever I use a Badger brush, it doesn't do the flop. It kind of like blooms open as you're going around your face. And I always feel like synthetic does like a flip flop, like you're lathering, and it's kind of like a paintbrush, like flopping up and down. And it just didn't. So this one did a little bit of that, but maybe in time it'll do more of the traditional Badger thing that I like. But very nice execution. His work looks really good. He's a lot like Blackland or Rex, where he's a designer and he contracts out to machine shop. He's not like Carve or Rock or Henson that own their own machine shop. But I think he does a fantastic job. It's very nice. The only other piece of feedback I would probably have for Mr. Caleb would be the packaging. The tube with the tissue paper, I'm not the biggest fan of. I've seen other people do that. Edwin Jagger does that with their brushes. They do tubes just like this. I've seen lots of other vendors use tubes like that. I would take it up a notch, especially with the price point of where these razors are. I would spend another $1 or $2 or $3 on a better box. But this is just me being constructive feedback. But the actual execution of the razor, the machining is gorgeous. The finishing is gorgeous. I don't see any giant machine marks. The bead blast finish is a very nice utilitarian finish. Where you can, rub it with a cotton towel and you're not going to scratch anything. You could throw this in your gym bag or throw it in your drawer if you wanted to travel, or your duffel bag or whatever, and you won't have to worry about it. But if you wanted to get adventurous at home, I've seen guys use metal polish on these, and they polish them all up. Or again, you can always have someone like our shop do that, where we polish and even do plating on it, so we can do either one. So that's all I got. Great shave, and yeah, this is feeling nice. Nice and smooth. That's all I got. If you've used Aylsworth, if you've met Caleb, if you were at the Northwest Shavers meetup, leave me a comment below. And if you do leave a comment, you are entered to win this, the official Razor Emporium Black and Blue T-shirt. That's all I got. We will see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving. Thanks, guys.